Let's take a look at Proofpoint. The Proofpoint is usually configured for protection, certificates, and SPF, Sender Policy Framework. Και για να δούμε πώς το κάνουμε setup. Πρώτα, κάνουμε account setup on Proofpoint. We create an account with Proofpoint, of course, and after we log into the admin console, we use the credentials provided by the Proofpoint, and thus we log into the administration portal. From there, we set the domain and the organization details, including name, email domains, and basic administrative settings. Proofpoint offers advanced email security features. Let's start with the domain addition. We go to email protection, domains, and we add the organization domains that are protected by the Proofpoint. Interesting thing now, it's the MX record update. Proofpoint will provide you with a specific MX record to update in your DNS. So Proofpoint will give you MX records. Replace the MX records, our MX records, with the ones provided by the Proofpoint to route email through Proofpoint's filters. The DNS propagation will take up to 24 hours. Then we set the inbound and outbound policies. We set up inbound filtering policies to block phishing, spam, and malware. Configure outbound filtering policies to monitor and prevent sensitive data leaks or sending malicious emails from the organization. What is the purpose of certificates in Proofpoint? Certificates are used for encrypting emails via TLS and signing them to ensure authenticity. DKIM signs. Για TLS setup, we ensure that the mail server supports Start TLS. Configure Proofpoint to use TLS for email encryption in email protection setting, encryption settings. Then we obtain SSL TLS certificate from a trusted certificate authority. We upload the certificate in Proofpoint portal or configure the mail server to use the certificate. So the SPF tells Proofpoint which servers within the organization can send emails. DKIM adds a digital signature to the email. SPF is a DNS-based record, a text record, to prevent email spoofing. Generate the SPF record. An SPF record for Proofpoint will look like this. vSPF1 include spf.proofpoint.com-all. This tells receiving servers to accept emails from the Proofpoint servers. Now, how we add the SPF record? We must log into the DNS hosting provider, GoDaddy, AWS, or Route 53. We navigate to the DNS settings. We add a text record with the above SPF entry, and we save the changes and allow the DNS propagation. And then we can use tools like MX Toolbooks or Proofpoint own testing tools to verify the SPF record. Beyond the SPF, we configure the DKIM, that's domain keys identified mail. DKIM, domain keys identified mails. Proofpoint will provide you with the DKIM selectors and keys. Άρα εδώ το DKIM έχει δύο elements, selectors and keys. And we must provide the text record on the DNS server. Ναι, και αυτό text record. Then the DMARC is a domain-based message authentication reporting and conformance. And we create a DMARC policy to enforce SPF and DKM alignment and receive reports. Άρα το DMARC is used to enforce policies. And this is how it looks like. V DMARC 1, P quarantine, RUA, mail 2, κτλ. Τώρα, το DKIM does not require a CA certificate because it relies on cryptographic keys and pairs, not on CA issued certificates. The key pair includes a private key and a public key. The private key stored securely on the mail server or Proofpoint, whereas the public key published as a DNS text record for the domain. When an email is sent, Proofpoint or your mail server uses the private key to sign specific headers in the email. Receiving servers will validate the signature using the public key from DNS. This ensures the email's integrity and authenticity. A certificate authority is not required for DKIM, but it may be needed for other purposes in the email setup, such as TLS encryption or email encryption. And now let's take a look on how to configure DKIM in Proofpoint. First, we must how to enable DKIM. We navigate to the email protection, DKIM settings in the Proofpoint admin console, add the domain we need to protect, and we generate the DKIM keys. Proofpoint typically generates the keys for us, and we'll receive a DKIM selector and public key. Then we need to publish the public keys in DNS. We create a DNS text record with the following format. That's a format, and we replace the selector field and the public key with the information provided by Proofpoint. After adding the DNS record, we return to Proofpoint and enable DKIM signing for the domain. In order to test the DKIM, we use tools like DKIM Core to verify the public key in DNS, DKIM Core, and send a test email to check if DKIM signatures are applied. If our focus is setting up email protection, like SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, that's email protection with Proofpoint, we don't need a CA certificate. But if we're setting up TLS encryption for secure email delivery or a SMIME for end-to-end encryption, then we need the CA certificate.